Namath again faking, quickly finds his target.
Now cuts in. He's at the 40-yard line. He's at the 40.
Quick drop throws in the end zone.
Each number represents an expectation, a challenge that only a championship tradition can issue.
Pressure. Anders hits him. The ball is loose.
Alabama, here comes the heat. Cornelius Bennett. Whoa, did he get lit up?
It is an endless passing of the torch that urges the wearer to enrich his legacy.
Brings pressure up the middle in a hurry. They can't get away from Dante.
Alexander first down and more. Richardson breaks free on the sideline. Turns the corner. Can you say goodbye?
Because at Alabama, tradition is not retired. It is built.
Does put a smile on my face.
Big up for it. Fires to the end zone. Will not be denied.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is September 22nd, 2023. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope y'all got some sleep last night. I know what y'all was doing. All that smoking and drinking that got your little butts this morning. I can see that already. All right, let's bring on the main man of the show. Our man, our guy, Mr. Van Edwards. Come on in here, brother.
Alabama is back as the champion.
Catch. Devontae Smith. Risky throw picked up by Patrick Surtain.
Hey, there he is.
Roll Tide.
Uh-huh.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. We had Fox this morning.
Yeah.
Whew.
It was a game.
It
I'll
was a
tell
hell
you,
of a game.
man, we got a lot to talk about on this thing. I'll
Yes,
tell you
we
what.
do.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody now. This is an open chat room.
Yes, it is.
If you'd like to get on here and talk with Van, y'all just come right on. Come in here, basically just like a barbershop. Come in and sit down, have a little talk with us.
Barbershop can't run without some customers, so come on in, folks.
I got mine. I'm just waiting to see when to cut Vans. I'll pay for it.
Like Samson, my power comes from my hair, man.
Oh, how are you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go back to the first half text or?
Woo! I was not happy. I'd almost sworn off ever going to the state of Tennessee ever again. I'll be honest with you. I was mad. Oh my God, I was mad.
I know. You ain't the only one. I seen stuff and I had thoughts in my head too, and just other folks said something about it, and then I counseled mine. I said, no, this is my Alabama Tide, baby. I'm rocking and rolling with what they do.
I'm behind them, but I'm an emotional guy. You know, in the moment, no filter.
No filter, huh? I tell you, I wish you'd see. I have yet to reveal what all was said in halftime, and usually my phone is blowing up. People talking and texting and saying this and that, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious! Half the time I take my phone, put it somewhere else, so I don't have to listen to it, watch the game, you know. And I'm sitting there with the phone right there beside me, nothing, dead silent, pretty much throughout the whole first half. And I'm like, oh, these folks just tore up, and then it started at halftime, and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Ye a little faith.
I'm sitting here watching it on my phone because we're trying to get a party together. We had a party last night, Halloween get together. So I'm watching it on my phone while we're working, and I'm not getting a whole lot of work done. We'll just say that. And good night. Every time I turn around, they're driving down the field. And of course, that being said, our defense in the red zone is still spectacular. It kept us in the ball game till the offense got hot. But Yeah, I panicked. I thought, man, we're not fixing to go out like this, are we?
Hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, Nick Saban Jr., if you want to come on, bud, let me put this link up here. We already got one set in there. So, all right, let me do this.
Did you see that comment Todd Colburn put there? He said, did y'all see that streaker? Yeah, I seen it. It was me.
It's all messed up. All right. Well, I tell you what, let me get this guy on here first. Good morning, Jeff. How are you?
Hey,
I'm good.
Jeff.
Good. I'm laughing at all these whining, crying Balls fans.
Feels good, don't it?
It's so pathetic. Come on.
Oh, my air just smells cleaner on a Sunday morning when you beat Tennessee. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah, I'm surprised the river hadn't overflowed yet with all their tears.
we'll know if a goalpost ends up in Huntsville somewhere over there. What got too high?
They're at the river going, there's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Boy, you talk about, what was it? Charles Dickens had A Tale of Two Cities, and Nick Saban's got A Tale of Two Halves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I prefer the Nick Saban version because, man, that was some drama. Man, that's better than any movie you could watch.
Well, our defense kept us in the first half, and then our offense just took it out the ballpark.
And that's what I panicked about. Our defense, we get in the red zone. They get in the red zone twice. We shut them down. They get field goals. But I'm thinking, is this offense is Tommy going to be able to draw something up here, to take advantage of their defense? I was getting a little nervous about it.
Well, we're not known as a comeback from behind team. Well, not by much, anyways.
Anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Appreciate it anyway, Junior. Yeah, there now, and that was one of my biggest worries. Every Alabama fan out there was thinking the same thing. We're not a comeback from behind team.
Sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, man, I tell you what, I took me an old man nap to get ready for the game because I knew we'd do the late show. And I got up and I walked in there, and it was already 7-0. Oh man, here we go. And before you know it, man, we couldn't do that. We couldn't handle out. Now the defense, I think, really showed up. Once they figured out what they were doing in the first quarter, they started slowing them down. And here we go into the halftime, and I'm listening to everybody, checking things out. And then the second half started. Oh man, the game was on then. What do you think about the defense? Somebody asked, what's the number? Who would you pick for your defensive player? All of them.
Yeah, I don't know that you can single out an individual.
No, you can't. You can't.
They played as a unit, and man, the way they tightened up in the second half, they were already playing pretty good. We were putting them at spots. The offense wasn't getting the job done. We were punting, and the defense was still standing tall. And it was a unit. I mean, Jahad Campbell. I mean, you name it. It don't matter. Everybody was out there making plays.
Yep. They're all doing good.
Campbell.
Like I said, the offense go over in the second half and just.
If Alabama ever plays a full quarter game, we'll beat somebody 80-0, and I truly believe that. I mean, the talent's there. When they get it all together and we play a complete ball game, we're gonna kill somebody.
What's that?
We got LSU this week or in 2 weeks, so we'll find out.
I know they don't wear
to play for.
I don't know. I bet Nick Saban would like to know, honestly, what it would take to get these guys to come out and be fired up and do their job from the beginning to the end. But, it's something I can't answer. I wish I had the answer. I'd try to call Nick myself, but I don't know.
All I got was the number you have dialed is no longer in service.
He quit talking to you too, huh?
Yep. Change his number on me. Justice Hubbard.
I
Kendrick Law.
called him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wore him out.
I did too.
Kendrick Law.
Coordinators.
About time we see some out of Kendrick Law. They're starting to add different players. And I'm wondering, guys, I mean, ask you seriously, we started out with all this and that, and, we couldn't get it together. We know that. We lost the Texas game.
Mm-hmm.
Now our defense is fired up. We got Chris Braswell starting to show out. They finally give some help over there to Mr. Proctor, and he's going to be a great one for us. You just wait. He's going to get there.
I 100% agree.
And
if this is his worst, and we're starting to see him get a little better as he goes, I thought he showed improvement yesterday because, I mean, he was taking on one of their best guys one-on-one, and several times I've seen him just completely take him out of the pocket and away from the play. So, I mean, it's coming. That footwork looked better, by the way.
You seen what I was talking about, did you? Yep. And the funny thing about it is that whole week after we said that, I would hear it every now and then, that footwork. I was like, okay, somebody's watching the show.
Yep, Coach Icebox over here.
Well, the thing is about the team is that we had young players on there that didn't have 5 stars or stars next to their name, and now Bond and who has people on defense, that are getting their stars because nobody really knew about them. So I mean, you can't really say anything about a player unless you know something about them. So now they're starting to show up, and everybody's going, "Well, hey, this is a different Alabama team. This is not the team that lost to Texas in week 2."
Well, that's what I'm saying. It seems like Saban really does know what he's doing. It's a process. Yeah, these kids and coaches are working with him week by week by week, and just like we was talking about Proctor, he finally started taking that long step that I was telling you about.
Yep.
And now Braswell's coming into his own. Campbell's coming into his own. And I heard a lot of talk about him and these two guys coming from IMG or whatever it is, schools, these prep schools, and now they're starting to show out. They're starting to show why they went after them. And you've got who's some of the others? Boybe, if I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. I have trouble with it.
Yeah,
he's showing out.
A Bogby, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Well, he did really good. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. I've seen him beat double teams several times yesterday, and that's the sign right there. That's what you look for.
How about going for it on fourth and goal, or fourth down 3 times? Come on. Why would you do that against our defense on your side of the field?
He felt threatened. He felt that momentum. I think he felt that momentum change, and he was trying his best to stop it before it happened, because I don't think he wanted to give Alabama the ball back. And you can't blame him.
What did he do? He did something like Kiffin did.
Stupid, yeah. Probably some more of that analytics bullcrap that we've been seeing in sports here lately.
Listen to somebody else besides what you really know what to do.
Taking the human element out of the game. It's been bothering me for years now.
Oh, yeah. And coaching is coaching, football is football, and everybody knows punt the ball. You didn't want to do it.
Great coaches become legends. Great coaches become legends by certain play calls. You can still remember certain plays and decisions made for teams and great coaches. You'll never forget them. But now we're relying on a numbers game, and I don't care for it. I don't understand it. I don't know that it's going on necessarily in Alabama, but you see it a lot of places in the NFL big time. I think Jeff can back me up on that. San Diego Chargers have they've died a few deaths by making stupid decisions.
Yes. Yeah, look at the Pats right now. Look at what they're doing. They're horrible.
Yep.
They can't get a game.
Well, what do you think about Tommy Rees? I've been asking and asking. I thought he done some excellent play calling in the third quarter.
Yes, I agree.
Actually, the whole second half.
Yeah, he done really good.
We've seen a few draw plays. We've been asking for it. We've seen
quarterbacks,
jet sweeps. We've seen a few things in the game that were different than what we've seen previously this year. And it's just like watching Milroe or watching Proctor, watching anybody. He's young too, and he's growing. He's learning about the team. They're learning about him. They're buying into his system. They're starting to get confidence and faith in themselves and what he's doing. And the same goes for him to them. You know, he's starting to have confidence and faith in what they can do. And it's starting to come together. And it's exciting to watch. I know it's not necessarily what Bama fans all are used to or want. You know, I think a lot of times Bama fans want to go out and see a 60-0 blowout. But there's something interesting about watching a team develop and grow each ball game. You know, that's when you really learn about football.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I take it that it's the process. You know, all we got to do is keep our head above water until it all gels together. You watch when we play LSU. They got 2 weeks off. It's going to be a different scheme coming out, and you're going to see other things going on in that offense that you're not used to seeing up till now. And you watch, by the end of this year, if we happen to play Georgia in the SEC, we don't, stub our foot anywhere or stub our toes. You're going to see a total different team than what you saw the first of the year. Even Texas will be looking over here like, man, I hope we don't play them in the playoffs. You watch and see what I'm telling you.
I think if we lined up, we beat them.
Yeah, like I said, we tried to tell people. We tried to tell them Alabama's not done.
I agree with that. We are not done. Focus week to week, progress, get better. By the end of the season, Alabama has not peaked yet. This is a team that if they peak at the right time, they can beat anybody in the country and beat them soundly. And I truly believe that.
I believe it's going to be in the LSU game.
Well, I sure hope so. FSU don't get me wrong, they gave us the way to stop. You shut Jaden down, Daniels, you shut him down, you beat LSU.
Yeah, that's it. You beat LSU.
Has yet to play what I would call a good ball game yet. They've got good athletes, but something's missing. I don't know what's going on there, and I'm not going to try to diagnose it. But their offense is lethal. And but if we can keep pressure on that quarterback, we'll beat them.
Yeah, but didn't they say that Tennessee's offense was lethal? I mean, when they say it was 2.8 seconds a play or something like that, I mean, they didn't get. I mean, Elton stayed on the bench more than he stayed. He had splinters in his ass from sitting on the bench so long. I mean, come on. I mean, that defense was all over him.
They were.
Dallas Turner. Hey, good morning there, Roll Tide. Rise up.
Rise up.
It's an open chat room. Rise up. If you want to come on, anybody else? Matter of fact, I need to put the link back in.
I agree with what Justin Summerlin's saying over here, though. He said we're starting to gel together at the right time because you don't want to peak too early. We've seen Bama peak too early in the past before.
I like to peak early.
Mm-hmm.
I love this password.
I didn't like losing to Texas, but I also looked at it as a learning tool to get better, each week. We had a couple of setbacks here and there, but when everybody said, well, Ole Miss is going to beat Alabama, that didn't happen. Mississippi State is going to beat Alabama. That didn't happen. A&M, so on and so forth. Now what we're 5-0 in the SEC right now.
That's right. And the thing about it, I've always heard coaches say you learn more from a loss than you do a win.
Yeah.
And I think they did learn a lot from the Texas loss, and I think they learned a lot from the South Florida close win. And Alabama has not been the same team since.
Oh.
And we've gotten better every week. I think we surprised a lot of people after that South Florida game when we beat Ole Miss. I don't think a lot of people seen it. I don't think a lot of people thought we could do it.
A lot of Alabama fans didn't see it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But I want to bring up one thing. I don't know the man's name, but number 44 from Tennessee, the shot he hit with that 4.
Oh.
Yes. Where's that flag at?
It wasn't there.
Where's that at? Because Tennessee fans been crying all over social media, talking about, the referee. Referees. Clearly, they didn't watch last year's game. They want to see bad calls, because that's what kept them in the ball game. Well, they can say what they want to, but
17.
That was a terrible no call right there. There should have been something done about that.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
What about the pass in the end zone to Jermaine Burton? Was that holding or was it not? Where it hit him
That
in the
was
shoulder?
That was holding. Yeah, big
Oh,
time.
pass interference. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was holding. Yeah. Because he had a chance the ball.
Was it pass interference?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was. Yeah. Hey, if they want to call a penalty
with his ability to catch the ball.
Say that the refs, that the refs cheated him and everything. We can say the same thing.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I think y'all are wrong. If you go back and watch the replay, okay. Do you not see that Jermaine Burton's hand is in front of the defender's chest, holding him off? He had him by the shirt.
Look 2 steps before that.
Yeah, they were arm in arm. They were. But is that really pass interference? Because I believe when he put his hand in front of his chest and trying to hold him back, he was locked up. He could not turn around and go get the ball like he wanted to. I don't think it was pass interference. I think that was a good call. Well, and I hate the result. Y'all know that. Y'all know that.
No. I want a clean game. No, I don't want Alabama getting favors or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'm fair with that. But I felt like the infighting. I thought it was more led on by the defender than the receiver, and I still think it was impossible. I wouldn't have had a problem with them calling it if I was a Tennessee fan.
I think if he had his left arm up and not in front of his chest, that would have been pass interference because his shoulder would have been inside his, and you would have got a pass interference call. But at where he had his arm, negated that. So,
yeah, I can see that.
But I'm just saying on that one.
Maybe it was a good no call. But to me, it just looked like the defender started the hand fighting and kind of got with a grab a couple of steps before the play. But if he retaliated, if he was also fighting, maybe it was a good no call, I suppose.
When Milroe threw the ball, it kind of bounced off of the Tennessee player, and that's what caused the interception. So that wasn't on Milroe for the interception. But
no, I didn't get mad about that one. You can't.
No,
you
I
can't
didn't.
get mad about that.
That wasn't no interception. That was just a deflection, kind of like that D Metcalf when Ole Miss, got that bounce back and ran it in for a touchdown. Yeah.
Yep. I do want to know one thing. Did anybody watch Sports J's talk the Tennessee guy?
Yeah, I did.
And what did the man say? I don't like blaming referees. I don't like doing, but come on, Alabama, 14 penalties per game. Oh, they got just one. I mean, that's all I heard from. I'm like, well, sound like to me, you're blaming the referees.
I'm gonna go out and say, I'm gonna say this right now. I seen several plays where I thought Tennessee could have got more flags if he really wants to go to that direction.
Yeah, I think honestly,
the cleaner Alabama games as far as mistakes that I've seen them play in several years.
Well, I mean, think about it like this: we had 14 penalties in the A&M game, right? Wasn't it? It was like 14, and then we had 6 in the next game, the Arkansas game. So we only have 1 in this game. So I think it just comes down to discipline and how you want to play the game, and you want to not make mistakes. That's all. Yeah. I mean,
well, no different than watching certain key players improve each week. The unit as a whole is probably working on some of these things. I know they're even alive. You can see it on the sidelines. So if you think he's not working on that and trying to get them to play mistake-free football, you're crazy, because that's every coach's goal.
Yeah.
I got to get in on this for a minute. Bobby Sprinkle, people with cerebral palsy on average are smarter than so-called regular human beings. Bobby's a smart guy, guys.
Yes, he is.
Y'all just don't know it.
He knows what he's talking about. He definitely does.
I've learned things from small conversations with Bobby in the chats before.
He was talking about the defense and how the 5 gap, how you got the 2 guys that come off the 5-yard gap. I was like, whoa, wow, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that man ought to be a coach. Well, remember, I've been pushing for him to be the president of the NCAA for 6 months now.
Oh, that's another thing. What?
He's got a great idea.
Question. I want to ask this question.
Bobby, bless his heart, he has trouble getting across to people, and you just got to sit and listen to him. You know what I'm saying? And you'll learn something from Bobby.
Well, Bobby, if it makes you feel any better, you go up 3 states and they can't understand me either. So, I mean,
I'm gonna say this: shouldn't the committee be made of ex-coaches and football players instead of people in government?
Yeah, definitely. It should be people that have played the game and understand it.
That know football, and put somebody that don't need to be number one up top. I mean, I'm not worried about rankings because rankings doesn't matter until you hold the trophy up at the end of the year. That's the only time rankings really matter.
I don't.
No, so I think it should be made up of people that know about football, which is ex-coaches, coaches, and put some of those coaches that like Dabo Sweeney or something like that. Put him in there, whatever. He knows a little bit. He knows enough to blow his nose, so he'll be all right with there. And then put some other ones in there. Don't put Condoleezza Rice in there. Don't put people in there that don't know a damn thing about football. Haven't never played the damn game. She probably wasn't even a damn cheerleader for all we know. I mean, come on. That's all I'm saying. The committee is a joke.
I agree 100%, Jeff. I can't argue nothing you just said. I've always said the game should be run by people that have played the game at a high level. They understand it because they could expose it to get further in the game. So they had the knowledge of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like that'd be like me running a soccer league. Never played soccer. My wife ain't got nothing against it. It just ain't for me. I don't understand the game. Don't want to. So I don't need to have nothing to do with a soccer league or trying to implement rules or tell them how they need to play the game.
I want to hear it.
Go ahead, guys. I'm looking up something for you just on that.
No, you're good.
I seen something. Here we go. See if I can find it. Okay. All right. This is the BCS, the way they used to do it, old school ways of how to do it. And I will go to where we actually show up. That's a shame about Duke. I was hoping Duke would pull that out against Florida State.
Can we please stop calling Duke's quarterback Vanilla Vic now, please? With disrespect to Michael Vick, they are not the same athleticism, okay?
No. So, and I'm going to say this too, but UNC lost yesterday. Penn State lost yesterday.
I don't think a lot of people seen UNC lost.
Huh?
USC lost too.
Did they?
We don't have to hear about them no more.
So,
no. Caleb Williams, I don't think they were ahead of us anyway. I don't think they were ahead enough. Okay, here we go. The top 10. Get off there. I hate commercials. Number 10, they got North Carolina. The AP says they're number 10. Number 9, BCS has got us as Alabama, and AP's got us as 11. Texas number 8, and they're about equal there. They're also equal with Penn State, which that'll change. Everything pretty much Oklahoma, Washington, they're pretty much right there. Florida, and the really change in the BCS would have been Georgia ranked number 3 instead of number 1. Ohio State would be ranked number 2. They're number 3. And Michigan would be ranked number 1 instead of number 2 as they got them now. That's how the BCS would line them up. However, with the losses yesterday, we should move up somewhere. At least 9. Come on, guys. But I think we should get it around 7 myself. But that's me.
And I'm fine with that. There's still a lot of season left. I don't put a lot of focus on rankings right now because a lot of times you have multiple teams from the same conference and they'll cannibalize themselves here in the next few weeks. We're already starting to see it with Penn State and Ohio State, things like that. So
for sure.
But yeah, the North Carolina game, don't think a lot of people saw Virginia knocking them off.
No, I would not have thought that either.
That's going to hurt them.
Miami won. Beat Clemson.
Yep, 4-3 Dabo.
Oh, Dabo just crying his little eyes out right now.
I like that. Terrell Owen said Prime will get 7-8, yeah, and they will be the new Alabama next year. Go ahead. Georgia thought they was the new Alabama too. They're going to find out wrong.
I got no problem with Deion Sanders. I loved watching him as a kid. He was electric.
Entertaining.
One of the greatest football players I've ever seen in my entire life, but that's a bold claim. Dabo was going to be the new Nick Saban. We see where he's at right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, let things develop as they go. Like, people, outside forces are putting too high of an expectation on a guy that's trying to turn around a bad team. And in my opinion, he's already done a great job. I mean, whether they got 4 or 5 more wins right now than they had last year. I mean, he's done a great job. But, you know, people put expectations on coaches that you just can't live up to sometimes.
Did you watch the 60-minute? Did you watch the 60-minute special with Deion? I only watched like a little clip of it on YouTube. He said, "This is after Travis Hunter went out when it got hurt and everything for the law. You know, before he lost to USC, he said that he was because he asked me. He said, "Who is the greatest coach to ever coach college football?" He said, "You looking at him? It's me." He said, "Well, you want me to take my glasses off and show you?" He said this on national TV.
With it. You got to have confidence in yourself for the players to go and have confidence in what you're doing. Everybody's got a different approach. Nick Saban's got the process. It's proven. If y'all buy in, look what I can do. I'll lay my championship rings on the table. That's a different way of doing it, but it's the same result. You're trying to get people to buy into what you do. And I don't have a problem with it because Deion's done it at the best level, anything he's ever done. So, I mean, he's the only guy to ever play in a World Series and a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's an impressive cat. I can't doubt him. He'll prove me wrong.
Not taking that away from it at all, but Travis Hunter, when he got hurt and come back, and he was not the same player.
And that is fair. That is fair. He has not necessarily been the same player, but he also kind of like Alabama right now. Some of the younger guys got to adapt to the competition. You know, you take Proctor, you come straight from high school, and now you're blocking SEC linemen. That's a jump. And, you know, Travis Hunter has done it at a great level, but when you go from Jackson State to Colorado, the competition changes. You know,
big time.
So his level has to adapt and match it. And I got no doubt that he can do it. I mean, he's an incredible athlete. I don't think he's the best corner in the country, but he may be the best athlete in the country.
He needs to gain some weight and get a little, get some muscle on him.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, he's still got time to do that.
He was definitely getting pushed around by Stanford.
Stanford's sneaky, though. We see them every year knock off somebody that should. It's strange. It's really, really strange. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, though. But he had that ball. I remember I was watching that one play where the quarterback, the running back, wide receiver just kind of walked backwards in the end zone with Travis Hunter hanging off of him.
I mean, they were 8 points away from beating USC and what could have been one of the more incredible comebacks we would have seen in a long time. I don't know, man. I think he's got something brewing. You know, you give him a couple of years to recruit the way he wants to recruit and get the type of guys he's looking for. Colorado's going to be something else. You know, they're already better than they've been in years. So, I mean, I take my hat off to the guy. I'm impressed with what he's doing so far. And he's got eyes on him that were not on him for years. Because did any of us talk about Colorado? No.
Bad.
No, nobody was talking. Not in my area. You never talked about Colorado. And
only bad. The thing I ever heard about was bad stuff.
Sure. And I think they said he'd made the school $90 million in the first 4 ball games, something like that. So, I mean, you know, their success is far reaching. You know, their classrooms, their college, their students are going to get improvements from what he's doing for them. So, yeah, my hat's off to him. I think he's doing a great job.
All right. That's enough of that gum Colorado. Jeez, fellas. Get, I don't know about y'all, but I'm an Alabama fan.
Oh, I am too, but I love college football, and I like to
I
see
do
a
too.
good story. And Deion's story is a cool story, man.
I love Deion. Be honest with you, and you're right. He's already got what? How many games he won? 4 or 5?
I want to say 5, but it may be 4.
Yeah, that's 3 more than they won last year. So
That's right.
and he's entertaining, so he's great for the sport. But anyways,
Let's talk Alabama.
yeah, no kidding. Alabama, Tennessee. Because I want to talk about these crying fans they got out there. I am tickled to death over that. I am.
Hey,
I love it.
I set my butt up late last night to make sure I could watch some of that stuff. I mean, I watched the whole 40 minutes of Sports Talk Jay. Yeah, I'm like, okay, where's TriStar? Where's this little old
No, it's
diaper carrying little cell?
Oh, he talks shit about y'all. Oh, no. TriStar talks shit about y'all on Nick Jr.'s show. You should get TriStar on your show. Because he said, oh, that's a bunch of old men talking about football, don't know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I know. I heard every word.
On the damn show.
That's all right. He's a little wet behind the ears. I know what he's.
Yeah, rats.
Yep.
Leave a sinking
Yep.
ship. It's all right. He's just talking to get the attention off his team and how pitiful they look. It's okay. It's fine.
Yep. I know all about TriStar and what kind of guy he is. And I'd love to have him on the show, to be honest with you.
Oh, I love him on the show right now. TriStar, bring your ass on the show. Come on.
Enough said. Tennessee truck driver. I got you.
Yep.
The Joe
Twitter was off the chain with him complaining.
Oh, and he also said that Bond would not get open on his defense. But I think, what did Bond get? 2 touchdowns?
Mm-hmm.
What? Wide open touchdowns. Over the head, the defense didn't know where it hit him. Call that a busted play if you want to.
Well, I'm not much of a trash talker as far as just getting in a chat and just trying to rip people up for no reason. I like facts and things you can base real truth off of. But, I don't know where this supreme confidence in Tennessee necessarily come from when you lose to a Jekyll and Hyde Florida. I mean, let's be honest here. It's not like they lost to a really good Florida team. I mean, they beat Texas A&M. Sure, that's great. We did too. And they did it behind a run game, something we couldn't at that time.
It's the passing game.
We did better. But we did it with the passing game. And, I mean, that game could have necessarily been a coin flip before the game. I mean, I don't think anybody was picking some huge blowout that's realistic. Tennessee and Alabama looked similar in certain spots on paper. I think our defense had the edge, that it showed. But, I mean, my hat's off to them. I know some Tennessee fans, and they're good people. I don't
I know they are.
I don't dislike Tennessee fans. I'm with Icebox on this. I don't like the university. But
giving them, I don't care.
Well, we need that. You got to keep people to keep you humble, They had the greatest season they had in like 20 years last year. Of course, they still didn't even win their own division, but we're not going to get into that.
I got a real good question for you guys. What is it going to take to beat LSU in 2 weeks? And I'm asking you guys, and I'm asking folks in the chat room, because I know we got some smart people over there. What do you think? What needs to change for us to win?
Let me go. I'm gonna go. Superior defense for the first thing. Stop Daniels. You stop Daniels, you stop LSU. That's all it is to it. Look what FSU did. I know what you're saying. Van, I understand that. But they showed people how to beat LSU. So all we got to do is take that and Saban and put their heads together and figure out a game plan and take it off of that game, and we'll beat them.
I don't disagree with you. And yeah, we will definitely have to keep pressure on Daniels, but you'll have to disguise it in certain ways, because if he gets outside the pocket, he can kill you.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Milton had some plays yesterday where he killed us he just runs straight up the gut. And, the schemes will have to change. We will have to disguise different packages. We'll have to disguise our blitzes. We'll have to use different gap discipline. I mean, there's a lot of things we're going to have to do differently as far as keep pressure on him, but keep him somewhat in the pocket. Because if he gets out of the pocket, he can kill you. And I think Alabama, talent-wise, is a better football team, clearly. And I'm never going to pick against Alabama. I can't
Never.
do it. But I put respect on LSU's name because I see what that offense is capable of doing.
Yeah, but if we stop that offense,
If we
which
stop
we,
it, sure,
which we can
right.
do, our defense is strong enough to stop the defense and keep him in the pocket and make him honest.
But if you watched that game yesterday, if you didn't see that second half, you would kind of question, well, I mean, Tennessee, yeah, we look good in the red zone, but they still scored 20 points. You get what I mean? Like, if
I hear you.
If we don't come in doing it early, LSU may punish us to the point where we have a hard time getting back into the ball game. You got to be careful. What I'm saying, you got to play somebody like that correct 4 quarters. You can't have one half of football and then one half of bad football because sometimes scores get out of hand in a hurry.
Okay.
That's true.
Now, with that being said, you finally get around to what I was trying to get at. We need to hit them early. First quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right now, everybody knows if you've been watching these games, and I've said it, they're coming in with shock and awe in the first quarter, first half. Okay. Every team has been trying to do this. Texas A&M. Texas actually pulled it off, and I think that's what gave them the blueprint. Everybody, South Florida, let's try to get as many points on them in the first half as we can because we know that we're going to get tired. We don't have as good of a team as Alabama. That's our best chance of winning is to shock and awe in that first quarter, first half. I say let's turn the tables. Let's go after them. Just like we did in the second half, start out that same way and get it in these players' head. This is the way we're going to start because LSU is going to come in the same way. We need to beat that.
I think that starts with the offense and not the defense on this one.
Nope.
I think the offense has got to come out with something different than what we've been doing in the first half of games. We've been adjusting in the second half and doing and attacking things we've seen, but we've got to come out more exotic play calling and keep them on their toes and spread them out a little bit and not let them get comfortable because if the offense can start that trend, the defense can play a little looser. They can pin their ears back. They can go after the quarterback a little easier. And so I think that actually starts with the offense, not the defense. The defense can play, and we've all seen it. We've seen it the entire year, them getting better. Offense is gradually getting better, but we've got to come out something different. We can't be vanilla in the first half.
That's right. Now y'all can see what I'm getting at. Reese has to be a stellar first half. Take control of the game early. That's what I'm talking about. Get out there and start off the way you started off the third quarter. I don't care what you tell them. Hey, it's the third quarter of Tennessee game. However you got to put it to them. I mean, I'm sure Saban's got better words than I do of getting them to get fired up. What was it? The game before Tennessee. I can't even remember. That's how I've slept since then. Was it A&M?
Arkansas.
We come out in the first quarter. Lay down in the second.
Yep.
I say take that same blueprint from Tennessee, put it in the first half, first quarter of LSU, and that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. These next this next game, if you froze up, so we'll take you out for a minute. This first quarter, you need to do the same thing that you done in Tennessee. You're going to see LSU game. You're going to see different play calling. And I believe you're going to see a few more wrinkles. They're slowly adding into the playbook.
And I agree with that.
What was it that Bill O'Brien said he couldn't use but half his playbook?
He's not even using half of it now if you watch the Patriots. But anyway, I think it's more of a Bill problem.
But you see what I'm getting at. Until Tommy Rees gets comfortable and the players get comfortable with Tommy Rees, they're not using all the plays that they've got drawn up. And they're slowly getting to where they can trust each other, getting their timing right. Reese is sitting back there watching him do this or that, So that's what I'm saying. There's not only the players are starting to gel, but the coaches are too. and they're starting to open up that playbook because they know what they can do, who can do what, at what particular plays, what downs, what yardage. They're starting to get all that stuff down. It's just about like a baseball game in a way. They're writing all this crap down.
Well,
But yeah,
I ask you this then. All right, I'm gonna bounce off your question. Give you one. Do you think Alabama needs to try to establish the run early? Do we try to hit them over the top and scare them fast? What do you think?
I think you need to go with the run first.
Okay.
I do.
LSU's got good athletes, but their defensive line statistically is not as good as Tennessee's.
I think you need to.
Us being able to run the ball against Tennessee the way we did it, especially in that second half. McClellan had a really good game. He was a sledgehammer for us in the second half. So if we can establish that early, yeah, we can push them around. We can play a little bully ball. We can make it hard on them.
A lot of it is going to be just like B. Jamin said. We need running quarterback option pitch a lot. I like that. I do. But I also believe we should scar them up the middle. Start wearing them out, wearing them down. Okay. First quarter, if you can't get the run going, change back over to first down pass like they did against Tennessee. That looked really good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jeff, that's the reason I took you out. You've straightened up, bud. But yeah, go pass first if the run is not started. And you don't need to run what I call go into the middle of the second quarter before you start changing over. Start off right off the bat. But I do think you need to go run first. Start wearing that defense down. Start burning the clock. Start taking it to where they can't score 49, 35 points if they happen to. Do you think we're going to stop LSU, period, from scoring?
Yes, but there again, how quickly do we start to dial in the ball game is a big difference. Tennessee scored 20 and a half. It didn't score another point in the second half. That's what I was alluding to in my last thing I had said. Does Alabama, if they can wake up and start early, if they can play a more complete game and hold them down like they did Tennessee, yeah, I mean, we can slow their offense down to the point where we can try to run the ball, control the clock management, and control the game. Because if you can run the ball successfully, you can control a ball game. We all know that. With a good defense and run game, you can control a ball game. So if we can establish something, but do we do it, try to be more physical in the run game, or do we design things to try to spread them out with the run game, kind of like what we seen in the third quarter a little bit yesterday?
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. With Milroe, yeah, I want to see some quarterback runs put in there, and I want to see Chase, and I really am curious about seeing if Miller and perhaps Justice Haynes getting some playing time. Sure. You know what I'm saying? And I know this is a bad game to do it, but should we? Go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, a set of fresh legs, sometimes if a defense is if you're wearing them down, if that's your philosophy and you've got 3 or 4 running backs, you can continuously rotate and just wear them down and grind them. I mean, yeah, that's not a bad way to do it. I know this is a big game to try to do that in, but we've seen us do a little bit of it each week. So, I mean, why not?
Hey, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, Brock?
Hey, not much. I just, man, see, what I noticed, Tommy Rees adjusted, right? Because you saw Milrose run the ball. And I've been looking for that. Like, everybody's saying this guy's hurt, but he was running the heck out of that ball in the second half, man.
Yeah.
Like, so I wonder if Tommy Rees, I don't know, man. Like, I'm confused about him because one minute he makes great calls, but it's like always in the second half. But in the first half of every game, on the first drive of the game, we cannot put together a good drive. And that's what scares me, man, because, like, I'm not saying LSU's going to blow us out, but, man, we got to bring it against LSU. We got to bring it. Tennessee was what they came out and punched us in the mouth. But I gotta say, our defense stood their ground because if you and now I will say this, Milton missed 2 big time throws in the end zone. If he makes those throws, that puts us in a bad shape. It could be like we could have been down like 28-7, bro, like or 21-7. You know what I'm saying, man? Yeah. But I think we got the best defense in the country. I'm sorry. I don't think Georgia got a better defense than us this year. That's just my opinion. I mean, you could say I'm biased, but hey, it is what it is. But in all, man, if we could put together what we did in these second half comebacks, I'm talking about against A&M comeback, in this game comeback, Ole Miss comeback. Like we keep being inconsistent, bro. Like if we could be more consistent in the first half, man, we could blow them out. That's all I'm gonna say. We could blow anybody out. I don't care what anybody says. They said we didn't have a quarterback. They said our defense wasn't that great this year. They said a lot of things about Alabama. They said we weren't going to be able to stop Tennessee's running backs. What we hold their running backs to? 20 yards. All 3 of them accounted for 20 yards apiece. That's it. We shut down their run game. And I tried to tell Tennessee fans, man, and Icebox, I tried to tell them, bro, this Alabama defense is for real. Yep. They are not a joke. Oh, yeah. These guys, we got Jahad Campbell, even Tim Keenan, what's the other linebacker we got? Can't think of his name.
Oh yeah,
Tim Smith.
No, the linebacker.
You got Campbell, Marshall, Lawson.
Yeah. Lawson, man, he was doing his thing yesterday. But I'm telling you, a guy to watch out for is that dude Jahad Campbell. He is a dog.
He is.
And I'll say this too. Chris Boswell, man, he is disruptive. He's got it too, man. And I'm telling you, he's already got 6.5 sacks. He's already got 6.5 sacks, Boswell. And I think Dallas Turner got 8 sacks on the year. So, man, our defense is playing well. But it just seemed like we come out flat every game of the first of the start of the game. We come out like it just seemed like the energy wasn't there yesterday. Like we just looked like we sluggish out there, man. We got to stop doing that. We got to get up. This team got to get up and punch people in the mouth because you saw what Tennessee did. They knew we was going to stop their run game. They knew they weren't going to be able to run that ball, man. You know what I'm saying? They knew this defense is no joke. But Joe Milton, he made some nice throws. I'll give him that, Joe Milton. But I think we had I want to say it was a busted kind of coverage. Like whenever we seen Squirrel White on Chris Boswell trying to catch Squirrel White, somebody didn't pick up right there.
Yeah, somebody missed it.
And
it was pretty great athleticism on Braswell to even be able to stay with that guy.
Man, that dude, he is a freak.
Yes, he's
a freak. And I'm gonna tell you, man, Caleb Downs, he's still that dude, man. He's still leading this team, man. This defense.
Downs reminds me so much of Minka Fitzpatrick. It's not even funny because they both came in as freshmen and established who they were early in the team. Kind of went with both of them.
What doggone true freshman has 60-something tackles on the year on the Alabama defense? Like, come on, man. This dude just came out of high school.
Yep.
And he's putting up tremendous numbers right now. And he ain't done. I'm telling you, man. Caleb Downs, he's getting better and better every week. Every week.
I'm going to counter something you said here. I've been wondering about this myself because the last few weeks we've been seeing our offensive coordinator come out and kind of be vanilla, just sort of fill out the team. And I wonder I know he's the offensive coordinator, but he's almost like a defensive fighter in boxing. He waits a couple of rounds to see how you're going to attack, and then he adjusts to it and uses a different scheme. And I'm wondering if that's not his approach. I can't prove it, and I may be completely wrong, but it almost seems like he has to have a quarter or so to kind of see what your defense is doing to adapt to it.
Yeah. See, I'm sorry, but Kevin Steele, he is great. In my opinion, Kevin Steele is that guy.
Yep.
And I'm going to hate it when he leaves, man, because he is bringing that fire.
Yes, he is.
That mentality is back on the Alabama defensive side of the ball, man. And Pete Golden for 5 years, man, I was like, what the heck happened to our defense?
Yep.
I mean, bro, I remember 2016, 2015, bro, we were headhunters. And I feel like we're getting back in that mode again, bro. Like we're back to that old Bama defensive domination.
Right.
So, man, I look, shout out to Miro too, man. Miro, man, he, I kind of give him so much, like, I guess you would say, like, down him. I always talk about him because I'm like, man, I want this kid to be great, right? But
yeah, you can see glimpses of his greatness.
Yes. And whenever in that first half, I'm like, come on, Miro, because I seen sometimes where he missed Jace out, like when in the flats a couple times. If you notice, if he looked over, Jace is wide open in the flat, so. He just got to see the field a lot better, but
he does. He has a problem with staying on his first read a little too long sometimes, and that's kind of the difference when you have timing routes. I think he's having to adjust to that because he's used to doing it one way, and he's looking for his primary receiver a little longer than he should, and sometimes mess up the play because a timing route. You've got an internal clock in your head, and you got to get your 3 steps, your 2 steps, or if you're in shotgun, you've got to put your focus here, and you've got to be 1, 2, 3, boom. And especially with the offensive line, I don't know that he's necessarily mentally still trust his offensive line, and for good reason. So sometimes I think he's looking for that primary receiver to bail him out, and he's not looking off to see where else there. But he's doing better than he was because that killed him against Texas.
Right. And see, I think our offensive line, man, they played pretty well. Everybody's saying like, they still gave up 4 sacks. Yeah, we've been giving up 4 sacks a game. I think we average, we give up 4 sacks per game. But you know what? It doesn't matter. We gave up 6 sacks, I think, to Texas A&M. It didn't stop us from dominating.
Not every sack is the line's fault either. Sometimes Miro puts himself in a position where he needs to either – you can see he hesitates and he's thinking about dashing, he's thinking about running off, but then he refocuses and it's too late and he needs to commit. He needs to either in his mind go, all right, I'm running, and he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep your eyes
up there, just go, man.
If you get out of the pocket, you're staying down the field that somebody's breaking open before you get to that line of scrimmage. Sure, rocket that thing in there, but if you're going to commit to it, you got to go. Other than that, though, man, he is growing 66% completion rate yesterday, 200-something yards. I don't count the interception. It was a fluke. Yes, it was a turnover, but it's not necessarily his fault.
Hey, play
by the defense.
Yeah, I think they're that one that was bounced off Jermaine Burton that you're talking about. I think that was a little bit of tug over there on Burton. It looked like it had a little contact to it, but hey, I'm not making no excuses, man. That was I guess you could say it was a good play by the DB,
Sure.
But I'll say this: I think this is what I question Miro about. When he rolls out to his right, or when he rolls, mostly it's to the right, ain't it? I think he rolls out to his right most of the time. But I don't know if he doesn't see the pressure. Like, he just hesitates. Like, he holds the ball and he just takes a sack, bro. Like, you got to throw that ball away. You got to. And that's what was questioning me about him like before the season. I'm like, man, Miro really he holds the ball too long. Like, how we gonna get through the season with this guy? Like, I was nervous, but then everybody saying he's improving, and he has, man, tremendously. He came a long ways.
Well, it's kind of like watching Bryce Young with the Carolina Panthers right now. And you know, the speed of the game is a little faster. You know, everybody you're playing against is good. And you see him kind of hold on to the ball a little too long. He's not a bad quarterback. We know that. He kept us in every ball game we ever played in. He was here.
Yeah. I think he's nervous.
You got to adapt. And you see him starting to get a little better every week. You see Milroe starting to get better. It's an adjustment, you know. And it comes. It don't happen overnight.
Well, I think Bryce, I think the game is slowing down for him a lot better than it was.
Yes.
Because if you look back at the Miami game, he was poised. He was poised back there, and he made some really big throws. And but his deep ball just a little bit off, and he would have had that guy downfield, man, in that Miami game. But
that's just
everybody's giving Bryce Young shit right now. Everybody's putting down Bryce Young. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I know.
No, you're good, brother. We got that TVMA up in the corner. Don't you worry about it. But you know, the thing about it, you know, what makes social media good is being able to talk to people you never get to meet. You know, I met a lot of y'all through these chat rooms. I would have never probably met y'all in life without that. But that same thing, you get so many people that just negative. They down everything without understanding it or taking the time to understand it, or even putting themselves in that situation and saying, hey, could I do this? Could I learn from this? And so people are quick to say things, and I try to watch what I say because I couldn't do his job. I couldn't play quarterback.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a position I was athletic enough to do.
And
people are real quick to be negative, and they need to learn to sit back and let things unfold. You know, we're a society right now where we want it right now, and that's just not how things work. Not everybody learns as fast or grows as fast as others.
Right.
You know.
But I'll say this: Bryce Young doesn't have any threats for him to throw to, really. Like that Thielen guy, what Adam Thielen, he's not even that great.
He was washed 2 years ago in the Vikings, man. That's why they went out and got Justin Jefferson and they let Diggs go. Because I mean, he's a great possession receiver, but he's not a guy, he's not a primary receiver.
Okay.
Not in my opinion.
Right.
He kind of reminds you. Remember Chris Carter in his later years when he played for the Vikings? Remember him?
Yeah.
And then they got Randy Moss. And that was your deep threat. You know, he was a freak athlete. You couldn't do nothing with him. And then you had Chris Carter over here making the easy first downs and possession catches. You know, and that's kind of what Adam Thielen was. And, yeah, he's not a primary guy, not in my opinion.
And Jonathan Mingo, he's not consistent enough. Like, he's not there.
Yeah, they got to get some talent around him, but they need to be patient.
He's a big body kind of receiver, but they don't have a guy that can actually take the top off the defense.
Not at all.
So Bryce Young doesn't have like a Jameson Williams. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he had somebody like a J-Mo on that team, oh God, it would be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen what they can do together.
Yep, they're awesome. But I'll just say this, man. I think we going 11-1, man. I really do. I still hold on my prediction.
Yes.
I think LSU, I don't think their defense is going to be able to stop our offense. Even though our offense is not explosive, like, I still think we got the advantage. It's a home game. I think we're going to be able to contain Jaden Daniels. I really do. Now, I do think he's going to break some good yardage, probably gets big runs or whatever, but I think we're gonna like contain him a lot better than we did last year. Man, if we had a spy on that dude last year, he would have never scored that touchdown. You know that, Van.
Oh, I agree with that, and I think that makes a difference in a year. We had great players last year, but their defensive coordinator, he had our guys thinking too much. They were in their own head, and you know, you've got to let great athletes play instinctually. They can't be out there trying to overthink and analyze everything. The speed of the game is too much. You'll get burnt. Same thing happened to us against Tennessee last year. And yeah, I think that's the difference in a year. We've already seen in our defense. You know, a lot of those guys were still last year, but that defense coordinator, he's got them play with the ball in front of them. Keep the ball in front of you, make plays. And yeah, man, the difference in a year is amazing. And I'm still high on Tommy Reese. We got to let him do his thing and learn.
I
You know,
think he's got to
it's the
adjust to
first
the
year.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what are we seeing out of him that we didn't see last year? Second half of ball games, we're doing things a little bit different.
Yep.
Bill O'Brien would stick to the same thing for 4 quarters, whether it worked or it didn't. Right. And yesterday you seen him adjust and try to attack them in ways that he saw that we had the ability to create mismatches. And you know, that's just not something we were doing under Bill O'Brien. So I'm hopeful for Tommy Reese. I think he's doing a good job. He's getting better every week.
I think we should stick to Milroe running the ball a lot too, though. Like, in that, like we did the second half, he is incredible, bro. He's explosive. Like, Milroe's a dude.
Yeah.
When it comes to running,
I completely think Milroe could be a more physical Lamar Jackson. Now, he don't have that Lamar Jackson speed necessarily.
Or that twitch,
Yeah, that twitch. He's a different type of cat where you see Hurts was more of a physical run, and you see it in the NFL. He's more of a physical guy. Lamar was that quick twitch. You know, he's hard to contain.
Yeah, his hips ain't that great. Yeah.
Yes.
I know what you mean.
But Lamar, you know, is not as good a passer at that level that Milroe is right now. And that's why I think, you know, Milroe could definitely, you get more RPOs involved and let him do more quarterback keeps and get out of bootlegs and you keep your defense honest and you can freeze the safety.
Yeah.
You can freeze that safety doing that. Because, you know, that guy over the top, if he sees you roll out and you've been burning them play after play with that quarterback, he's going to freeze up. And that 1 or 2 second freeze is enough to get a guy over the top.
Is Isaiah Bond one of the fastest players in college football? Shit. I mean, let's be honest. That man scorched.
Man,
he's a burner, man.
I'm going to pose this question to you since you're on here, Brock. Do you think we should try somebody different at punt return?
Yes. Kool-Aid. I don't know what's going on with Kool-Aid, man. That was just a tremendous, a dumb mistake by him. I mean, I don't know, but this is the thing that I kind of feel like that you know, when he took that big hit in the Middle Tennessee game, did it put a little, like, is he scared to risk himself? You know, now is he not, he doesn't want to take that chance to get like popped like that again? I mean, I don't know if he's scared. I don't think he's really scared, but I mean,
that's a great question.
Kind of put a little fear to it.
He could have done something, man.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. You know, he may not even realize it, but psychologically, he may be scared to take that big hit. Now.
Yep.
That's a great take.
I mean, Nick Saban about had a freaking stroke over there after he was behind.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
and I would have had to. I can't say
that. Everybody said now Nick Saban ain't got that fire no more. Shoot, man, you crazy.
Yeah, I think he just picks and chooses when he has that fire now. I think he finds his moments when he needs to.
And I think I will say this. He's got more fire in him than he did last year. Last year, I didn't see that fire like I do this year. Like this, I think Nick Saban has changed the way he's approaching and like responding to his players now. Because when they make a mistake, he be chewing out Terrion, he chew out Kool-Aid, and you know what? They see these players that we have, like Terrion, Kool-Aid, and all them. They know Nick Saban's like that. They understand what kind of coach they have. They're not going to respond to him in any kind of disrespectful way because they know that he wants nothing but greatness out of them. You know what I mean?
Well, guys like that are there to be better. They want to be coached by the best, and maybe that's why. And I pose this to you, and I pose this to Icebox. Maybe he's showing more fire this year because he sees more abilities out of the guys he's got right now. Maybe he sees that they're more coachable than the guys he had last year. Maybe last year's team was a little fragile mentally. Maybe his style of coaching wasn't necessarily what got those guys motivated. You know,
we didn't have that defensive mentality last year.
Right.
And with Henry told, man, I've never seen an Alabama linebacker just sit like it, just let somebody run over him. You know what I mean?
But now look at him at the Texans.
Yep. That's crazy.
Playing fantastic.
Yep. And see, that goes to show you it's not on. It wasn't him. That wasn't really the true linebacker that he could be. You know what I'm saying? That goes to show you that Pete Golden didn't have that defense fired up and put them in the right positions at the right time to make those big plays for our defense. And that's the difference between Kevin Steele and Pete Golden, the mentality that he brings. Kevin Steele might be 64, 65, right? But that man's got some fire in him to be an old man.
Now, Kevin Steele's been around the league a long time. He's been around a lot of SEC teams.
Oh, yeah.
He's a high level at a lot of places. The man knows his stuff. I mean, he's as high regarded as you can get as far as a defensive coordinator. And, I mean, he don't second guess himself a lot of times, and you can see that in their play calling because he adjusts, but he won't make big adjustments. So he's confident in what he's schemed up, what his game plan is. So, yeah, I mean, the world of difference it's made between him and Pete Golden. 100%.
Yep. And see, I think that was the best hire, Dan. I think that was our best hire. And I think, like you said, we got to give Tommy Rees time. I think by next year, Tommy Rees going to have this offense going.
Sure. Really he'll have another year under his belt with this same class of players and new guys coming in. And he'll see things he wants to do and what they can do, and he will mesh that together and come up with it. The guy's smart. He's not 31 years old as offensive coordinator at Alabama for no reason. Yep,
that's what I said. Everybody see yesterday, a lot of people on Twitter like fire Tommy Rees. Like some Alabama fans just overreact. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I'll be like, man, look, he just got to Alabama, man. This guy hasn't been in a big time championship program. This guy just came from a Notre Dame that only wins 8 or 9 games a year. You know,
well, I mean, now Notre Dame plays at a high level and they play some good competition. It's big time football. They got a huge fan base.
They got a good
stadium rocks, but there is a difference coming from there to
different.
Here.
Well, a big difference. And I'm just gonna be honest. Like Notre Dame don't have the players that Alabama has. Let's be honest. I mean,
they don't
it's
have
not even close.
No,
it's not close, man. I mean, only Alabama and Georgia has the top players. I mean, LSU, you know, they got them too. But, you know, Tennessee, I guess you could say they got good players. Tennessee got good players too.
Oh, yeah, their coach done a heck of a job so far, man.
Yeah, I credit Josh Heupel. But, like, this was a personal game, man.
Yes.
This was personal, man. Because last year, all you heard was, oh, Tennessee beat Alabama and Alabama's done. Nick Saban done lost his grip and he done lost it, and that's all we heard. And that dude Paul Feinbaum, I can't wait to hear what he's got to say after Alabama just beat the brakes off his Tennessee Vols.
Well, if everybody thinks you're going to win a championship every single year, the amount of breaks, lucky breaks, and key injuries, dodging those to win a championship, people don't understand what it takes. And I think Icebox can relate to this question right here because he was alive for the Bear Bryant years. And, I mean, people forget the success Bear Bryant had early, but towards the end of the decade of the 60s, Alabama was starting to dip off.
Yep.
They were starting to have some losses. And he went out, got the wishbone, learned about that, and kind of took the team in a different direction. So, yeah, we forget how many losses we have last year? 2?
Yeah. 2.
A 2-loss season ain't a bad year. I mean, we're spoiled a little bit in that. But
I mean, that's because of Nick Saban's track record. I mean, we're used to winning championships at Alabama. Like, as six-time national championship coach, actually 7 if you count LSU, but with Bama, he's got 6 rings. I mean, Nick Saban's the greatest, and I don't care what nobody says. Kirby Smart, he's great. He's not great, but he's good. right?
I don't have to put him in a great category because I mean you don't win 2 championships not being pretty great. You know, I can't take nothing away from him, but I mean, time will tell if he can keep them consistently in that championship talk like Saban has Alabama.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's off to a great start.
Yeah, I still don't think he'll pass up Saban though. I don't think so.
It's gonna be hard to do. It's gonna be really hard to do. Saban's
consistently. Nick Saban has won. Like, I think he just got his 200 career win against Arkansas. So you talking about a guy that won at the very high level, man. And, and I mean, I'm just saying, like Saban. Everybody thinks he's if he wins another one, he's done. I don't think that, man.
Well, we can't know what Saban's going to do unless Saban tells us.
Yeah.
We're not in his head. We don't know what his plan is. I'm just here for the ride myself. I appreciate it. He made Alabama relevant again. Made them the top program. Made them fun to watch for me because I didn't get to live through the Bear Bryant years, so I didn't know what consistently good Alabama football felt like.
Yep.
So. Yeah, I mean, when he got there, I was a junior in high school.
Wow.
And, that next year, we went, 12-2, something like that?
Yeah. I was a young boy. I remember watching the Texas-Alabama game in 2009? Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that championship game, man, like, I remember watching it as a kid with my dad because my dad, he's always been a diehard Bama fan. He's from Ozark. I don't know if you're familiar with Ozark. Ozark, Alabama.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
Ozark, and he lived in Dothan too for a while.
Okay.
And so my dad, he always been a diehard Bama fan, and he said Bear Bryant. He used to watch Bear Bryant back in his days, so Bear Bryant was a special coach, and he hated when he had passed away and stuff, and like my dad, he was a Bear Bryant fan, so definitely, man, I really think Saban, like everybody thinks that Saban wants to like surpass Bear Bryant. I don't think it's that. I think it's just he's gonna continue until, like he said, you know what he said, man? Like last year, they asked him, when are you gonna retire? I think they asked him at like the ESPN kind of whatever before a game. And he said, whenever I feel like I'm not contributing to the team, and I feel like that I'm not doing my job. You know what I'm saying? That it's time for me to go, right? But I don't see that. I don't see him slacking. Like,
no, not
people
at all.
think he's slacking. I don't see it.
Not slacking. Well, my whole thing is, some of these Alabama fans after the Texas game, I seen the talk out there. Okay, Saban's washed. Saban's done. We've all seen these idiot fans out here. Oh, he needs to retire. The game's passed him by. Who we gonna go out and get this better? Who's going
to take his spot? Yeah,
ain't nobody. No,
nobody
we better
wants
enjoy
that
this while it lasts.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to take that throne, man. Like, that's a big time. I mean, like the expectations at Alabama is championship or bust.
Well, you've always heard the saying, "The heavy is the head that wears the crown." It's lonely.
That's it. Yep. That's it. And I say this, man. I think Saban has done what he's done for the University of Alabama. I think it's incredible, man.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Even not just, I'm talking about outside of football. Like, the culture he has built at the university. Like, it is incredible, man. Like, it's so, like, I hear, like, even the recruits and stuff, they say it's an experience that they never seen, man. Like, it's just a beautiful atmosphere. I mean, when you go to, I've never been to a game, man. As an Alabama fan, I've never been. But
people don't understand what a head coach, the job it takes. It's not just what you see on the field. It's the
Yep.
entire year and having everything planned out and having your thumb on top of everything and making sure you've got the right leadership as assistant coaches, that the playbook is fitting to what your athletes can do. You know, practices, nutrition, weight room, the list goes on. And then you start losing these key pieces when you start having success. And we've seen it. How many coordinators we rolled through? I mean,
Oh my gosh.
bring
We done
new
been
people
through 'em
in,
all.
get them to buy in and learn and get them part of the process. And that will be the interesting thing to see Kirby Smart do. Now that they've had a lot of success at the highest level,
Can they
keep bringing people in to continue their success? And it'll be fun to see because he's an amazing manager and coach.
Yep.
But when you start losing key pieces, sometimes you can't replace them. We've seen some
That
great
coaching turnover is serious, man.
once
Yep.
things leave.
Yep.
So, it'll be fun to watch.
And you know what's crazy? I remember when Saban had lost. Who was that we lost? We lost some good coaches. I think Kiffin and then we had to bring in Sark, and we had a big turnover at that point, right?
Yeah.
But I remember in 2019? I'll say in 2019, and 2017, like we had all freshmen in that championship game in 2017. Tua was a freshman that had to step in. Like, and we won a championship. Like, and I think the coaches that year, I think they had just got there. Like, we had a big turnover at that point. Like, so, man, Alabama has done something that I don't think any college football program can do, man. It's yet to be seen.
Well, football changed so much. When it went to the bowl championship series, I think it was 1998, something like that. And the rules kind of started changing a little bit and recruiting changed a little bit. And, just like it would be hard to replicate what Barry Bryant did, there weren't a lot of restrictions on recruiting back then. Nick Saban's done it in a different time, and he's adapted each decade with the time and still stayed on top. And that's why I don't know that anybody will ever be in our lifetime will ever be able to replicate what he's done at Alabama.
Yeah. And this is what I love about Saban. If you're a young guy, a young recruit, the thing I would look at is if I chose to go to Alabama, you're not just gonna get the coaching on the field, but you're gonna get the afterlife, the afterlife of how Nick Saban talks to you. He's a what's the word? He's a not when a guy, the speech.
He's a motivator. He gives life advice.
Yes, life. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So, and you if you look at like the guys like Julio Jones and stuff, look at their lives, man. Look what he's made them become.
Mm-hmm.
Like after being in Alabama and winning championships, it's not just about that, man. It's the afterlife that he brings to these guys. Like he helps them prepare for the next level. Yep. You know what I mean? And people don't really look at that about Saban. They just think Saban paid players and he did this, he did that. I've heard it all, Van. Like as an Alabama fan, and you as a diehard fan too, man. Like we've heard that jump. Oh well, if you go to Alabama, you see they got Dodge Chargers and Hellcats and all this. Man, I've heard it from Tennessee fans to LSU fans. Oh well, Saban's been paying players. He paid Derrick Henry all this money, all this, da. Like, man, where's the proof? You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly
you have no proof of what you're really trying to make it out to be. So
people out of rage, out of jealousy will make up things and they'll ride with it. And dumb people will absorb it and take it further. And you can't. I don't worry about all that talk because I'm gonna say this: if we paid Derrick Henry, it probably wasn't enough. He earned every penny of it. But,
heck yeah.
But besides that, where's the proof at?
Right.
I don't worry about all that talk. I remember when we were a crappy football team too, and I talked a lot of mess about a lot of other programs that was doing better than us, and it was probably out of jealousy.
My daddy used to tell me the times that before my times how bad Alabama was. You know, that
Oh yeah.
when
How old are
when
you, Brock?
Saban first came in, I mean, we lost to ULM. So I
Yeah.
mean, it was, but I will say this: Saban in his second year, he showed like that. You know what kind of coach he could. He had the potential to be, and you know, he went and done. He went on to be great, man. He done his
How
thing.
old are you, Brock?
I'm 26, man.
Oh
26.
yeah. See, you're lucky. You didn't live through the downfall after we went from Stallings to DeBose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough there for a while.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of those coaches. Because I had to do my research, you know, because my dad, he told me a lot about it, but I did my research on it, man, and I read a lot about that stuff, man, and that's incredible. Like from Gene Stallings to Mike Dubose, all these other
Yeah.
coaches before Saban.
Franchione,
Yep,
Mike Price for a cup of coffee. He didn't
Mike
even make it
Price.
to
Yep.
maybe 3 practices, and that is.
Yeah.
Can't
Is
use that
that the
company
one
card to
coach
go to the
that
strip
got
club.
fired? Alabama fired him. What in like the first few games or something?
Oh no, he didn't even make it.
No,
Play
he
He
didn't
ball.
make
didn't
a
even
game.
make it, did he? Yeah.
Mm.
No, you
Wow.
cannot use the company card to go to a strip club. That's a big no.
Wow. That's crazy.
I think he come from Washington.
He did. Washington or Washington State, actually. I think it may be Washington State.
I think it was
Icebox,
Washington.
what was your thoughts on yesterday's game, man? I know me and Van's been talking. I just wanted to ask you how you felt. Like,
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
That's what this show's about, man. It's just we talk about whatever we want to.
This is
Right.
the barbershop, man. You come in here, get a lineup, get your fade, get the high and tight, whatever you're looking for, and then we talk a little football, talk a little trash.
Talk about a little bit of everything. So, what I think about yesterday, I thought I made that clear. Honestly, I'm gonna just tell you the emotions I went through. First half, like I said, I come in there and
I
it
was
was
pulling my hair out. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're one of the texts, buddy, that I seen. You, Van, William, a little bit of everybody. Kangaroo Black. I mean, the way y'all was going, I'm like, my goodness. I think we need to throw out some.
Shout out to Ken in the chat.
Ken's the man, baby.
Your team lost yesterday, but he showed up. He's a classy fan. We're glad he's here.
That's what I'm thinking. Say. Ken's got class.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has got class. Win
or lose or draw, Yeah.
Oh yeah, but they got a good program. They don't need to be disappointed. Tennessee's a lot better than they've been in a long time.
Yep. Very, very
well,
good team.
You got to keep in mind, why did Phil Fulmer do what he did? Why did he do that? It wasn't because they wasn't cheating either.
Oh yeah.
So why did he do it?
Right.
Because he was having problems recruiting. Tennessee always has problems in recruiting. Okay. It's a smaller state. They're stretched out east to west instead of north to south. They can't, because then you got Kentucky up to the north. You got Alabama, Georgia, and the Mississippi guys down to the south. Yeah, he's a snitch, Big Jimmy. And that's what will be written on his tombstone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's the reason why he done it, because he couldn't get recruits. And Tennessee will always have that problem. You got to show respect to Tennessee.
Yep.
They all recognize you got to have outside talent. I mean, we get people from Hawaii, California, Iowa. It goes on and on. We go out to get the best players, but now don't get me wrong, we do have good talent in Alabama.
Yes,
and that makes up a big difference than what. Oh, that's the reason I pull for Duke. They're not a dadgum football team. They got one heck of a quarterbacks coach up there now as the head coach, and he's been turning that program around.
Definitely.
And made them into a quality football team. Okay.
Yeah.
They're winning games they ain't supposed to. They're putting up fights against people that they shouldn't be.
Most of my life, Duke was a doormat.
Yeah. So that kind of program I respect. I don't see you going do it, but when you do it, I'm proud of you. I'm proud for you. And Tennessee's kind of that, and they're not the Duke. Don't get me wrong there. Tennessee is a football program, and they have their good stuff. Yeah,
they're very competitive now. They are
exactly.
They put up a fight, and that's what Josh Heupel did say.
Look at it this way. Why am I so down on Georgia? I told you that last week, didn't I, Van?
Yeah.
Your champions is not playing a championship schedule. You know, jeez. I mean, how much more of a joke can it be? And I'm not trying to down Georgia right now. No. I'm just saying, you know,
because Tennessee, Georgia should be ranked number 1. That's just how I feel.
I guarantee you, if they had our schedule, bro, they would not have the success. Like, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, if they would have got tested early like we did, I don't know that they recover like we did. This team's a fighting team. They've shown spirit.
It's called resiliency.
So, I think they would be having at least 3 losses right now.
Yeah,
I do.
Wow.
If it was Georgia playing our schedule, I do. And if they had played Oklahoma, they would probably have at least 1 loss right now. You know, the way Oklahoma started out. But what I'm trying to say is Tennessee is where Tennessee is at because they played competition football. They played Kentucky, the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Georgias, Mississippi's. That's why they're at where they're at because of where their location is. And so I'm always going to have respect for Tennessee, but not since Phil Fulmer. We've already talked about it, and I ain't no need to go through it again.
I want to get y'all's take on this. Since Brock Bowers is going to be out for these big games coming up for Georgia, and they're on the road. You're on the road in Gainesville, and you're on the road in Neyland Stadium. So, do y'all think that Georgia could slip and lose the game in either one of those games? Do y'all think it's possible? I mean, I really do think it's possible.
Oh,
anything's possible to me. So.
Definitely. I think Georgia's in a similar situation as far as their team as we are. New offensive coordinator and a new quarterback taking over. And there's not a lot of trust probably between them. And they're not 100% sure that they can get all in behind Beck. He showed some great, abilities. But so they've leaned on Brock a lot to get them out of a bind because he's an incredible athlete. One of the best tight ends we've probably ever seen. And, before he got hurt, he was in my short list of Heisman's. I mean, I had him up there. I mean, because he has toted that team out of some situations.
Yeah.
And now that he's hurt, they're going to have to put more trust in Beck. And so far, he's lived up to the hype. I think he's a good quarterback. They just got to be patient with the guy.
Yeah, I think now you do remember, and I know Icebowers probably remember, but I just started keeping up with recruiting. Like, I know everything about recruiting in Alabama right now. Like, I know everybody that, like, the guys we're going after. I know top to bottom on every level, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that Carson Beck was committed to Alabama before and then he flipped to Georgia. I didn't know that. Carson Beck was committed to the Alabama. Y'all didn't know that?
No, I can't say.
Don't care. No, seriously, I don't.
No,
I don't
really
care.
Was,
the reason,
yeah.
reason I say that is we get a bunch of people that want to say they're coming to Alabama, verbal commits. That don't mean jack. Yeah.
But you know why he left though? It was because I think it was because of Bryce Young, I believe, or maybe I can't know. Was it Tua or Bryce? It was one of them. I think it was Bryce though that made him
change his mind.
Yeah.
Ken. You won games when we was in the dark season, bud. But the thing of it is the way Tennessee has been going about their coaching, and I'm just plainly put it, you got Johnny Majors, and somebody said, well, he was a drunk, so was Bear. Bear was a drunk.
I think Tennessee's defense kind of gave up in that second half. They didn't look like they looked like they got tired. They put all their energy and all their their heart and soul in that first half. Like, they just came out flat, man.
That's the shock and awe. Hey, if you spend all your ammunition in the shock and awe in the first part of the war and you've got nothing else to back it up with,
right?
Now it's down to the ground troops, And that's what everybody's been playing. What's that?
What do you think while we're sitting around the barbershop real quick? Let's run down some of the top 25. You want to?
Yep,
Sure.
let's run it. I'm ready.
All right. So we got, let's see here. I'm just going to look and see. We had number 2 Michigan handle Michigan State 49-0. Yeah. Michigan State's a team in turmoil right now. Their head coach is caught up.
A lot of people think Michigan.
By the way, rumor mill.
Like, that's crazy.
Rumor mill. I'm hearing a big rumor that Urban Meyer was spotted in East Lansing. Don't know if it's true, but the rumor's out there.
Oh, I didn't think he had the heart for it anymore.
Well, he seems to forget that he doesn't have a heart condition every few years. It's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get it.
We had number 3 Ohio State and number 7 Penn State.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Talent
man. I kind of hated that. I was really pulling for Penn State. I even picked them in the pick'ems. I wanted them to win.
I respect James Franklin as a coach, and I would like to have seen him.
That's fine.
Drew Aller, man, I listened to his story in the game day, college game day yesterday. His mom, they said he lost his. He's always been an Ohio State fan. He grew up an Ohio State fan, and I think he's from Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. And Drew Aller, he lost his cousin or something, like he was a young guy, but anyway, he lost him whenever he was being recruited at the time to come to Penn State or something. And then like he said he's not gonna give up, like he's gonna go be successful, because he lost his cousin, and it's a great story. I couldn't tell it all, but I know a little bit of it from yesterday.
Before y'all keep going, Ken, if you want to come on here and talk with us, man, we'll be glad to have you.
Ken, come on up.
Yeah, we'll talk Tennessee football week or whatever you want to talk about. Really, the only one that really kind of disappointed. Well, here's one I cannot believe: Mississippi State and Arkansas.
Man, I think Sam Pittman's in trouble. I do.
I personally don't think they need to give up on him too quick because they've been fighting with everybody. They ain't been blowed out by hardly anybody.
Do you think it's the offensive coordinator, like Dan Enos? They said he's not that great as a coordinator. I've heard some things. Like I heard his offense is like, not up to date.
He's got an incredible athlete at quarterback. He really needs to take advantage of it. KJ Jefferson's something else, man.
He's a dude. Yeah. And I feel like they're misusing KJ, like in a certain way. Like I think he could be more of a runner a little bit. Like he's a pocket passer, but I think KJ can get up out of there, man.
Oh, he can. He's a big physical runner.
He will throw some guys off of him, and he will break tackles. Oh yeah. He's physical, and he's huge.
I think the Oklahoma game. Did y'all see Oklahoma and UCF play?
Yeah, that was almost an upset game right there. Hey, you saw Javon Baker, the old Alabama wide receiver, Javon Baker? He was tearing them up, man.
Yeah, he was.
He was doing his thing.
But
shout out to Javon, man.
I got a question for y'all.
Okay.
Jimbo Fisher. If it wasn't for the money of his buyout,
he'd done been gone.
He'd been gone.
And do you think it's still that they wouldn't do it? And we were talking about it, or somebody was talking about it. You got to pay the assistant coaches, you got to pay this guy, then you got to pay the other coaches buyout to get them over there. You're talking probably well over $100 million to get rid of it.
It don't matter. Texas, that ain't nothing to Texas money, dog. Let me tell you now, them boys, Texas over there, man, they got those colleges, they got millions. They got money, man. Those are big time programs over there.
Oh, that's all money. That's all money.
Yeah.
And all money and probably some cow money there too. Ken, you wouldn't trash this show up, man. We're just here talking, having some fun. This is the barbershop. And don't worry about eating crow, man. Just come on here if you want to. We'd love to meet you. And you ain't got to have the camera on if you don't want to. We
Yeah,
don't care
you ain't
about your
got to,
looks.
man.
Look at this ugly old ass man here.
You ain't gonna eat no crow with me. I'm not that kind of guy, man. That was
No, we respect.
Yeah, my hair is all
Well,
messed up. I don't
we'll
want to
say the
get on here.
truth now. Don't
Oh,
take it
yeah.
wrong. We'll say the truth, but we're not going to trash it. Come on here if you wish. Okay. Yeah, Jimbo Fisher. If it were for that money, he'd done been gone.
But let's be honest.
Jimbo.
He's been riding the hype of getting the right players in at Florida State in 2013 when he won a championship with Jameis
Exactly.
Winston and some of those other guys. And they sent a lot of guys off that team to the NFL. And he just had the right chemistry, the right guys come in at the right time. And then he left Florida State in a dumpster fire. And, you know, took until this current coach, what's his name, Norvell? Is that his name? Florida State's coach, their current coach right now.
I don't know.
Is that his name? Anyways, it took till this guy to finally pull them out of the ashes and kind of start climbing back. And now they're looked at as a premier program again, you know. And I'm glad myself because, you know, I hate to see something like that. But, you know, back to it. Yeah, Jimbo Fisher, I've never understood the hype. I know he won a championship.
I did.
Whatever. So did Gene Chizik. Okay. I mean,
that don't mean nothing.
One championship doesn't make you a great. There's a lot of luck involved in winning a championship sometimes.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Icebox. If it wasn't for, you know, having to rotate and pay more staff and another coach to come in, and then, yeah, I think he'd have been gone 2 years ago. But what was it, 2020, the COVID season, when it was an all SEC schedule? They were pretty daggone good that year. I think they had maybe one loss or something, and I think it was us. But, you know, we're 3 years removed from that. The talent's there. They're a top 5 program on paper.
And what gets me, they got probably the best defensive line in the fucking whole country right now. Like
it's arguably,
it's arguably the best. Well, I would say I got an argument for our defensive line, but you know, I'll give them a little bit of lead, I guess. But I think our D line is great too.
Oh, I do too.
What nobody say.
I think we got the best in the country and getting better.
Did Tim Keenan? He's okay, right? Because I know he kind of got injured a little bit there.
I hadn't heard anything major yet. You know, that's not to say we may hear something, you know.
I think the guys just need a big break. It's time for them to have a break, man. They've been busting butt every week. I think, you know, I think this bye week is going to help us a lot. I really do. I know we said that junk last year, but we're at home. I think we're going to take care of business, man. We're going to be in that SEC championship, and we're going to shock the world, and Georgia's going to be, back to square one like they have been. And we're gonna take the throne back, Mr. Nick Saban. So
I like that. I'm hoping we just stay 1 week at a time right now. But I like that.
That's my prediction, man.
A few more games we had yesterday, real quick. Washington, number 5, Washington beat Arizona State 15-7. Nothing really right about. Although you could say Arizona State really kind of made that Michael Penix Jr. Heisman talk slow down just a little bit, you know. They've been pouring the points.
He looked kind of a little bit off last night. Michael Penix did.
If you're in the Pac-12 right now, going to the state of Arizona, having to play Arizona or Arizona State is a nightmare because they're bringing the wood to some of these bigger programs.
Yeah, Arizona State, they played pretty doggone good. They did, man. They put up a fight. That's what I will say. These teams that, like even Arkansas played against us, like they put up a fight, man.
Well, Arkansas.
Don't let the record fool you, bro. Don't let the record fool you at times, because it will. That's when those are the teams that will upset you if you don't watch out. If you don't take care of business, and they can get to you, man.
Looks like Oregon continues to roll. They beat Washington State 38-24. Number 8 Texas survived against Houston. I don't know.
I heard the refs gave them that game.
About Texas.
I heard the refs gave them that last touchdown. I heard it shouldn't have been a touchdown or something. They said.
Speaking of that, did you see the end of the Minnesota and Iowa game?
I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, man. Iowa.
Who won it?
The Iowa punt returner. The Iowa punt returner is back there, and he's motioning for his blockers kind of what to do. They called it a fair catch.
And as well as they should have.
They run it in for a touchdown. Didn't count. And so Minnesota wins 12-10.
They're right.
Oh, wow.
They're absolutely right. You remember Tennessee did yesterday. You know, the guy was catching the ball, and the other one went out with a tee, even though he was kind of low. It was still there. Mm-hmm. And I watched the rest of the game over again. And later on in the game, they were doing exactly that. They were calling.
Yep.
So Tennessee can't gripe about that either.
Tennessee fans some Tennessee fans about on social media today. They said that call was a terrible call by the refs. Talking about, we had to get put on the 3-yard line, and all we could do was run the ball because Alabama refs and all this. And I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that junk after we had 17 penalties in Neyland Stadium. And Bryce Young got almost cremated back there. I mean, come on, man. He got planted.
They were trying to kill him last year and take him out. They were.
That's why I don't pay attention to a lot of that talk. If I see something like that on Facebook or whatever, man, I just scroll right past. I ain't got time for all that.
And I don't feel. I'm sorry, but I don't give a doggone if the refs did cheat. I don't care because I feel like we got highly cheated last year. Because that doggone picked Kool-Aid got in the end zone last year on Hendon. That it should have been game over, man. That doggone pass interference call was not a pass interference. He never grabbed him or nothing. The dude fell back on him. That tight end fell back on Kool-Aid. Oh no, that was Malachi. Fell back on Malachi, and then Kool-Aid was right behind Malachi and intercepted the ball. And then how do you call a penalty 50 yards down the field? Like I've never seen that, man. I haven't. So anyway, it's the past. We got revenge back. So we smoking our Tennessee packs. Oh yeah, there we go.
Well, let me ask y'all this: from anywhere from 14 to 19 penalties a game, we go down to 1. Would you not be a little bit suspicious too? Or do you think Alabama really improved that much in one game?
I think we played a clean game. I do. I don't think
I do too.
Yeah.
I think, be honest with you, I think the refs was let them play.
And they wanted to bring up that the Bear and their edge rusher got held by the neck or something. Somebody posted that picture. And guess what? Isaiah Bond almost got his neck broke last year. Do y'all remember that play with number 28 or 26? The corner, he ripped his face mask, and Isaiah Bond could have broke Isaiah Bond's neck. He came from behind him and ripped it. I got the picture on my phone from last year. So, look, Tennessee fans, y'all don't want to throw stuff at us because I'll tell you what, I can throw it back. Just saying.
That says it all. They only had 5 last week, but all right, guys, we are fixing to wrap up here in just a minute. And before we do,
if that's okay.
Okay. Yep.
Just real quick. All right.
USC, do the USC.
Yeah, Utah upsets USC, or you can call it an upset.
Yeah. Dude,
I guess
that quarterback run. That quarterback run, it was over. It was over.
I guess Caleb Williams can paint his nails black now because that's the death of their season because they're not going to the championship now.
Nope. And Van, why did they have them before us anyways? Like in the rain, like they put them before Alabama. I don't get it. Like this team.
Well, they've got a Heisman winner at quarterback. They get a lot of press being on the West Coast. So, I mean, there's a little bit of bias there, and I see it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what.
While we're there, though, LSU plays Army 62-0. I mean, it wasn't even a ball game.
Man, that's boring.
Yeah, Missouri beat South Carolina. The team I highlighted last week, Air Force, they took care of Navy. They're still rolling along.
Shout out to
Tulane beats North Texas. We talked about the Iowa and Minnesota game, and then you got UCLA. They tore Stanford up 42-7. So that's look at your top 25 right there. And each week we're seeing people kind of fall out. We're seeing new contenders step up, and Alabama steadily staying right there. So I'm real happy with what we got. They give me a hell of a scare yesterday for a half, but in the end, they come out with a W, and that's all that matters. And we're seeing more growth, and we're seeing this team become something.
Yep.
And maybe our identity, the fact that we win by all means necessary.
Yep. Maybe our defense take us to a national championship.
Bobby told me to stay out of Knoxville. Don't you worry. I got no plans.
Hey, Bobby,
I'm sitting here looking at the ranking, guys.
I never been to Tennessee, and I don't care to go to Tennessee, dog. I'm gonna be honest.
Hey, honestly, Tennessee is a beautiful state.
I agree. State. I agree.
And there's good people up there.
But you wouldn't. An Alabama fan wouldn't want to wear Alabama gear down there right now.
Hey, I wore my Alabama gear through the dark years when they done their junk, and I wore it proudly. But I'm still, I got a little picking on, but I come back with them. I ain't gonna sit there and put up that crap. And they treated me with respect after that. And I've met a bunch of. I've worked with people that actually played for the football team, got the ring and everything. Mm-hmm. And I've been broke down up there and everything else. They're great people up there in Tennessee. Man,
shout out to Tennessee.
I do not like their football team program or the school. I'm just going to go with that because we already know why.
I can't stand them. Yeah.
Here's the rankings, guys. All right, so they put us down to number 9, or put us up to number 9 for 2 spots.
Well,
only ones in between us. Well, here's the ones in between us. Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma, Washington, Florida State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. Can you argue against that right now at this point in time in the football season?
Not at all.
No.
Okay. Now, does not Michigan play Ohio State?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay. So somebody's going to have a loss there.
Yep.
Our job is to beat LSU. Okay.
That's right.
Right now, there ain't no sense in going, okay, we need to win out, this and that. Our next job is to beat LSU. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
By 1 point. Forget all that other stuff and what it means. Give me a win. Okay. All right. Now, who does Texas play that's in this top 10? Nobody. All we need to do is get them a loss, but I don't care to see them again in the Final Four if we have to.
Oh, it'd be great.
I hope we line it back up with them. I really do.
Oh, yeah. I don't see – is there any other team on here that has a chance on losing? That's the question.
It's a great question. Wow. I myself, I mean, the possibilities there for everybody. I feel like Georgia will do enough to stay undefeated. That's just me personally.
Yeah, until
that's right.
Until
we'll talk about that then.
SEC
but
championship.
That being said, I could see Texas. Man, they're playing a lot of close games with teams they shouldn't be right now. We've seen it several weeks. I could see Texas slipping up for sure. Oregon's schedule is still going to get a little more interesting because them and Utah's got to meet up more. Whether it's a conference championship or during regular season, them and Utah's a physical football team. Washington, they're starting to trend downwards just a little bit. I mean, they could completely turn around, put out 7 points next week, but from what we're seeing right now, they're slowing down. People are starting to figure them out.
Oh yeah.
All right. With all that going around in your heads, do you think it's possible, even with I know I'm jumping the gun here, even if we beat Georgia in the SEC, if we're setting out of the top 5 or top 4, is there a possibility to move in there? as it sits right now.
Yeah,
think so?
If we
It
beat,
is.
if Georgia is undefeated in the SEC championship game, we beat Georgia. Yeah, we'll crack that top 4. That's just me. I think we crack the top 4.
Okay.
Because at that
Hang on a
point, Georgia
second.
would have like 24 straight wins or something
Yep.
crazy.
Yep.
So yeah,
Guys, I am not kidding. Okay. And I know it's a joke right now. Bigfoot farts in the woods. Does it stink? Yes, it does.
Musk.
How come I've never been run over by a big truck yet? Well, who says it hadn't? If it was real, some redneck would already plagued his ass by now. Who said they haven't?
Yeah, but man,
reason I'm going through this, I am going to do a Bigfoot show on this here show right now that we're
Really?
on. Oh, yeah.
when are we planning this?
After the football season.
Can I be part of it? I hate to put you on the spot like that, but I'd love to. I've always found it fascinating.
What is that? Can somebody explain?
What's that?
You said something about Bigfoot show. What is that? I mean,
I've got some guys that I talk to regularly, and I've got some stories that y'all will not believe that I've heard, seen, talked to. Guys, I've talked to people that you see on television shows personally. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. So it would be an interesting show. I believe it'll be a fun show. And I figured once the football season is over with, I asked you, Van, what are we going to talk about after the football season to keep you going? And you said, hell, anything we want to. Let's call it the barbershop.
Yeah,
so
man. It's barbershop.
If we're going to do that, we're going to have us a Bigfoot show. We're going to have us a cooking show. I don't care if you wonder how you fix a lawnmower or how you do this or do that. Harry and the Hendersons ain't gonna touch what I'm fixing to do. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Man, you got me excited. This is my wheelhouse right here now. I love Appalachian folklore, especially.
Yep, folklore, moonshine making. Here we're gonna go all kinds of directions this summer.
I like it. I'm joining that. I like it.
I mean, football's main thing right now. We are Alabama Football Channel, and but we want to continue throughout the summer of doing this on Sundays. I think everybody will enjoy it. But yeah, Ken, it's coming up, but it's going to be after football season. What do you figure around January? Probably the end of it, something like that. We're going, oh yeah. Ghost stories, snake stories. Bigfoot was a superstition. Come on the show. When we do it, Ken, come on the show. I will change your mind. You watch
That'd be great, man. We could have detractors, people who think that people who think they've got stories, and people that don't believe in it, and mix it up, chop it up.
I will say this: ghost stories, paranormal activity crap, I stay away from.
I got you back on that. I got you back. I got some stories there.
Yeah, I stay away. I got some too. That's the reason I stay away from it. I don't fool with if I can't shoot it, kill it, or eat it, I ain't fooling with it.
Then I wonder how the country singer Morgan Wallen feeling about his Tennessee Vols now.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know a lot about him, man. Most of the
Morgan, he's a big fan, big old Tennessee guy.
I don't know a lot about modern music, really, man. Most of the time, if you stroll by my house and I'm outside working, you'll hear me. I'm listening to Kool and the Gang, or I'm listening to Parliament or something like that. I like old 70s and 80s funk and R&B. That's my favorite.
I like old country music.
I like some of that too.
Yeah.
Rise Up, are you still here? I know the numbers have went down because they know we're fixed to get off, but Rise Up, are you still here? I just want to know. Okay. All right. Yeah, it looks like we already got a good
y'all, man. I had a great time being on the show.
Man, we enjoyed it, man. You brought some great talking points. I enjoyed talking with you, bro.
Hey, look at it this way. You talked enough that I could go outside and smoke me a cigarette. Thank you.
You good. That's good.
I always like to give my perspective and
we love it.
My 2 cents on what I thought and how I feel going forward, man, because I think this team have a fight in them, man, and I think that they can beat anybody. You know what I'm saying? And I I'm predicting us to win it all this year, man. So,
I'm hoping so.
Well, that's what this show's about, Brock. We come in here, we chop it up, we give our opinions, we just talk about whatever comes to mind. We just pass it around, and that's what we were looking to do. Man, that was fun. I enjoyed it.
If we win the SEC championship, I'm gonna still say we had a great year, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's been an interesting, exciting year.
This may be one of Saban's greatest coaching jobs right here.
Yep.
It may be. Doing a swap over from
the year.
And I asked people that earlier this season, and you can ask Jerry, is this a rebuilding year? Everybody's like, no. Yes. You got a new OC coach, new DC coach. You're getting new players. You got new schemes. You're changing over. I think they said, well, it's just a reconstruction. It's a rebuild.
It's just a rebuild.
When your key leaders leave the team, your coordinators leave the team, it's a rebuild.
Dude, we just lost Bryce Young, the best quarterback that led this team last year, man.
Bryce Young was the leader of the offense. Will Anderson was the leader of the defense. Both of those guys are gone. I mean, it's a rebuild.
And I'm glad. I'm glad because now you're seeing more of team football this year. Look at that dadgum defense. We can't sit here week to week and point to Chris Braswell. We can't sit here week to week and point out Jahad Campbell or Dallas Turner. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Lawson. Every week we have a different star step up and play some football.
But you know what that means? That means we have depth at those positions. And that means that guys are getting that opportunity now this year. The younger guys are getting that opportunity. And like, I really thought, I'm going to be honest, I thought Earl Little was going to cut the roster this year. I really thought he was going to be one of the starters. But I do think Earl Little in 24, I think he's going to be awesome for us. So next year, really look out for Earl Little, man. I love that kid, man. Great player.
Justin Summerlin, Ken, you better be here for my Bigfoot show. I want your criticism. I really do. I'm not saying that just to be. I hope you come on the show by then. Get over you. Hell, you're a damn Marine. I don't know why you're scared to come on the show. But thank y'all for your service, you and Justin.
We want here every week, man. I enjoy reading his comments just as much as I do anybody's.
I do too.
In that chat, man.
But I want him for sure here on my Bigfoot show.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I know I can't see the chat, but rise up, all y'all guys. Hey man, everybody.
Yep.
It was a great game yesterday, and I was glad we was able to light our cigars. So
that's right.
It was great.
Steven,
it was an awesome moment, man. That was an awesome moment. I had nothing but smiles. I promise.
Oh no, you did. No, you did. I don't need to go back and tell people what you said at halftime.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I turned the game off, man. Like at halftime, I could not watch after I seen was it 13-7 or something, and then like they were like in the red zone again. I turned it off, bro. I said, look, they about to go up 20-21 to our 7. I said, we're in trouble. I really thought we were in trouble, y'all, because I didn't see. Go ahead.
I've never not watched the game, but I've threatened to a bunch of times. I'll say, the hell with this. I ain't watching no more damn bit of this game.
I got an anger problem, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I almost broke my doggone new phone. That's how mad I got. But the Lord's will, I didn't break it. So and I just got the 14 Pro, man, with a nice case on it. I don't need to break it. I got insurance on it, but I don't need to destroy my stuff, right? But man, I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I know this team could be better, and I know we can be great. So, but I love this team, man. I love all the guys, and I love the fight that they give, man. Yeah. And if I could tell each and every one of them how much I really appreciate them for going out and playing for that A on their chest, dog, I really would, man. They're awesome players, man. and the future is nothing but bright for the University of Alabama. So roll
Oh, it's
tide,
going.
baby.
Hey,
Let's
wait,
get it.
strap up, buckle up. We got another half of the season to go.
Yes,
So
sir.
Yep.
it is
And I'm not
really
just
fixing to get
I'm
interesting.
not just the Alabama football fan. I'm a Alabama
Oh no.
baseball fan. I'm an Alabama softball fan. I'm an Alabama basketball fan. Hey, let me tell you, but I haven't been. I just now, getting to, the last few years, I started being more than a football fan, right? But I
Yeah.
love Alabama sports, man. They are awesome. The guys and the girls and gymnastics and all that. They're amazing people that come to the University of Alabama, and
Hey,
they
I'm a,
bring nothing but excitement and joy. You know what I'm saying? And they work together. And hey, man, the University of Alabama special. I don't care what nobody says.
exactly.
Roll
But
Tide.
I'm gonna say this much: if you don't think that I'm pulling for Vanderbilt basketball in the season and they're doing good, you're wrong. I
Yep.
pull for the SEC. Of course, I'm going to Alabama first. If you doubt that, you just hang around me a little while. But I am for Florida golf. I am for South Carolina baseball. Yeah, I really don't care. Those
Man,
sports don't mean as much to me as football, but
I
I will pull
love
for you.
I
respect
love what
that.
Nate Oates has done with this basketball program.
I do
Like,
too.
he has won what two SEC championship and the tournament. So like in the past 3 years, he's won the SEC 2 out of the past 3 years. So I'm just saying, man, Nate Oates, man, in the players that he gets, they love him. Like they admire him a lot, man. And you could, just like Nick Saban, like, I'm telling you, the coaches that Alabama gets, man, I really think they're just awesome, man, because they go out and show why Alabama's top notch, man. So
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Well, Ken, I'm going to tell you this much, Ken. We've had Brittany B on here. Uh, we've had several people you never thought you would see. They ain't on camera. That's okay. Mr. Van, never come on here before.
Yep.
And all it is, man, is just hitting that button, coming on here. And I know it's a little nerve wracking. I've done Van,
is.
how long have I been doing this?
Oh man.
How long? Can anybody tell how long I've been doing this? I know I've wore my face
It's
out
been
on
a
this
while.
channel.
It's been a while. I think about
Not really. Think
No,
about it.
He really didn't get there much before I did.
it's been what
That's right.
about has
Think
it been
about
a
it.
year? About a year? Not quite.
No, has not been a year.
About
I have
6
not
months,
been
hasn't
doing
it? Something maybe
maybe
Roughly.
5 months, 6 months,
5 or
maybe.
6 months, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I have
Yeah, because I
Junior
came on
hit
here.
me. Yeah. So let's put it this way. Junior, he goes, kind of started giggling a little bit. I said, what's funny? He goes, just think. He said, you come on this show as a guest not that long ago, and look at you now. I'm like, y'all screwed up when y'all let me on here.
Hey, God. Hey, I'll say this: God always gives everybody a gift, man. He gives everybody a special, you know, gift, and like I always had a special gift. Like, I can play guitar, I play bass. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
God has brought me from a long way. So, hey, God can do amazing things for you, and like, you just got to put Him first, man. Because you know, I used to go to church a lot, and like, I'm not trying to preach, but like, I used to go to church a lot. I grew up in the Baptist church and stuff, but my grandma always took me to church and stuff, and
Sure.
I always put God first, man. So it's important.
That's the way it should be. Should always be there. Hey, Coach Dude, move over Joe Rogan. Like an icebox takeover. Well, that's what happened on the other channel. That messed us up. I got to take that over too. Jeff, did you know what I mean? I haven't been doing it this long. But guys, we do need to get off here. Reason I was saying that, kid, I know it's a little nerve wracking, but once you get on here and do just like Brock's doing, get on here and talk, speak your mind, have some fun. I don't mind sitting here. Y'all see me today. I'll sit here and be quiet. I'll click out and I'll go smoke me a cigarette. I got my headphones on, so I'm listening to every word that's being said. I'll come back. If I ain't got, I do not mess up a good conversation. If there's a good one going
I didn't
on.
mean to. I didn't mean to take everybody out the conversation. Though I was just talking a lot.
You brought a lot of good conversation.
Would you have done that at a barbershop? Talk the way you're doing?
Oh yeah, I'm a talker anyways, man.
Well, then that's what you're here for.
That's what it's here for. Just come on here, relax.
I love
have some
conversation,
fun.
man. I always like to learn new things, and I always like to hold a great conversation and get to know new people, man, because you never know who you may meet in life. Somebody that's been through similar to what you've been through, but hey, it's great to meet new people in life and enjoy each other while you can, man. Because life
you got that right.
Life ain't here. It can end tomorrow. Life can end tomorrow for us. So,
Yeah, that's what I tell them. And I don't mean to bring up bad stuff. I really don't. But it's like I've talked to Junior and I've talked to Van. I'm 60-something years old. I could go out anytime. It's when you're younger and you stuff like that. Things that are going to take you out is your own stupidity. Speeding wrecks.
Just like
now it's age.
Like my grandma told me, she just passed away 3 months or 4 months ago. She grew.
I'm sorry to hear that.
She always been an Alabama fan. She was an Alabama fan, y'all. So, she always loved. When I was a little boy, I remember her just coming there. What's the score, Brock? She loved to watch Alabama football, and my grandma. I remember before she passed, she always she always brought that. I guess you would say that she always was uplifting to me, you know what I'm saying? So
sure,
it was great. I miss my grandma dearly because she raised me from a little boy, man. So
so that's why you've been laying low the last couple of months.
Yeah, I've been going through a lot, trying to, it's hard, because my grandma, man, she raised me from a little boy, I don't want to tell my whole life story because I've been through some really bad times, but like I said, God brought me through a lot in my life, and I could say that my grandma, I'll just, long story short, man, I was in foster care and for about 6 years, and my grandma, when I got out of foster care, I had nowhere to go, and I was literally walking down the road, and I had got me a little job or whatever, and got me enough money to get me a phone, and I remember going to Walmart, getting a phone and getting it turned on or whatever, getting minutes for it, and I got a hold of my aunt because she was power of attorney over my grandma at the time, and I asked her for my grandma's number, and she was like, what's wrong? And I started crying or whatever. I was like, I don't got nowhere to go. I just got out of foster home. And she was like, well, call mama and see if she'll let you come stay with her. And my grandma, I remember the words she told me. As long as my doors are open and I'm still living, son, you're welcome to my house anytime.
Damn right.
She said, you don't got to ask me for nothing. And I'll never forget it, man. It's a piece of my heart that's gone now, but I know that God, He took her for a reason, and but I would say this, through my hard times, like when I was getting out of foster care and stuff, He kept her with a bad heart, and she had to take heart medicine and everything, and they said she wouldn't live but 2 years, and she lived like 5 or 6 more years than what she was supposed to, but that's because of the power of God, and I believe God, he wanted her there for me and my family, right? So
she wasn't done.
Because and so God's not going to take you unless it's time for you to go. So right. But yeah, man, I'm getting emotional. I'm gonna get off here, but Hey man, I love being on here. I
Hey, yeah,
really
you're
do.
welcome anytime, Brock.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Enjoy
really
talking
do,
with you,
man.
brother.
And
Yeah, I do
I'll
hate to cut it short.
yeah,
Sorry about that, Brock. Yeah, I do apologize. But we really do need to get out of here. We've been on 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it's, we really don't care, but I do hate it for you and your grandmother. I
I'll be
know what
lost,
you're
man.
talking about, man. I do.
Yep.
I know what exactly you're talking about. It's kind of hard to explain. I know. Ken, come on next time. We'll teach you how to come on. It's not hard to do. But we need to get out here, and I got some things I got to say, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is that all right? Sorry about that, Brock, but we'll catch it up next time, too. Man, I feel for you, son. I know what you're talking about. And that's
All
a
right.
great story, to
I'll
be
see
honest
y'all,
with you.
man. Hey, roll tide and
Roll
hey,
tide, Brock.
let's keep it going, man. All
That's
right,
right.
man.
All right.
Take care, y'all.
See you,
All
buddy.
right, we'll be back here next Sunday, too, bud. All right. All right. I'm going this route. Let me put this up here, chat room. I won't be able to see you for a little bit. Tap that out. It's a new slogan that Spencer come up with, and we're all taking it to heart. We're trying to do some things for the chat room and to keep this channel going and all this kind of stuff. Subscribe, hit that like button. Very important. We need more subscribers. We're going to be pushing. That's why we're calling it Tap Our App. And you can comment, whatever, that's fine. We want you to engage with us. But most importantly, tap that app or tap our app and hit that like button.
Please.
We are really pushing for Nick Saban Jr. Okay. He is not that far away from, I think he's in the 700s, somewhere around like 733, somewhere in there. Don't hold me to it. But we really would like to see him get there so he can get monetized. He does. He works hard.
He's got some great content. It's different than what most anybody's doing. He's creative. He puts a lot of work into it. And he represents not only Alabama, but every school he talks about well. He brings on people that know about different schools. The discussions are fun. Y'all need to really check it out if you hadn't already.
Yep, he's really wanting to go SEC style. Okay. And that's great. And that's how you get more viewers and more subscribers, I'm sure, reaching out to more people. But regardless, he does a great job. He does. And he's very passionate about it. And I love it when he turns his passion on about Alabama. Oh, jeez. They make you get fired up just as well as anybody. And I love to watch him. So please try to help Nick Saban Jr. out as much as you can. Of course, we got Rags and Fitness, and we've got
Reverend.
Reverend Rags.
I feel like I'm at church when Rags gets fired up, man. I'm telling you.
Oh man, I love him. I mean, not just that. He's just a good guy all the way around.
He's a good dude.
And same thing can be said about this gentleman, Kangaroo Black. You know, if you don't, Kangaroo's a mess now. I will tell you, but he's fun to watch, and I love to hear he's got good insight too. But
Kangaroo Black is a unique experience. Watching his channel is unlike anything else.
And this is us, guys. Bam Dam Sports. If you already subscribe, try to get some others, spread the word, what we're doing. And basically, guys, we're just on here to have some fun, talk football and whatever else we can do. Watch the Horsemen every Tuesday night. Now, there's another unique show. They are great, man. They are what carried CTS for a long time, if you ask me. And because of them guys on Tuesday nights, that's what sprung up from here, you know. Thursday night with William, Saturday morning, Saturday night with me, and now Sunday with Van. It's all because it started right here with these guys right there. So if you can't do that, tap our app. That's what we want. And we enjoy y'all. Van, another good one, seemed like to me.
Man, I loved it, man. I enjoy it. I want to thank Brock and Jeff Stapleton for coming on here, man. They give you some great discussion. It's fun to chop it up with those guys. I hope we can get some more people involved next weekend and get some real conversations flowing around here. It's just fun to chop it up with everybody.
Yep. I think we're accomplishing what we set out to do. That's to sit down and have a barbershop talk. I believe Ken will be on next time. I do. I think he will be.
Looking forward to it.
And I think we will get other people, especially as we start expanding out to other topics too. So that's going to be fun. But anyways, just so you know, I am going to do it. It's coming. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, guys, I'm going to go out with the bear. And here we go. I'm glad y'all had a good Saturday. It was a fun football game for Alabama. I know for Tennessee, it hurts. It ain't the ref's fault. Really study it. It ain't the ref's fault. Guys, have a good weekend. Y'all be careful, safe this week. Sir?
I said thanks to everyone in the chat.
Yep. You got anything else?
No, sir. No win. Right. We survive again.
Yep. We'll see y'all again next Saturday. And yes, to answer your question, I will have pick'ems. Alabama won't be involved, but we'll come up with something. The games don't need to stop there. I will go through the winners here either this evening or tomorrow and announce it probably Tuesday, who's what and where, and I will announce it again on Saturday. So anyways, this is really getting fun in all kinds of ways. I'm enjoying this football season. Guys, have a good one. George Van, I think he's done great. Leave a comment.
Please do. Hit the like button, leave a comment, let us know what you like, what you don't like, and, we'll go from there.
Yeah, Van's a young man, got kids. He's taking his time out to come on the show and entertain us and have a good time with us. Leave a comment. Tell him how much you like him and how much you enjoy him. I know I do. It's always a pleasure to talk to Van. So do so. Leave him a comment. Let him know how much you appreciate it. All right, guys, we're out of here. Last words.
Roll Tide.
All right, see you guys.
You've got to be better in all three areas of life, which of course are spiritual, mental, and physical. You must be able to discipline yourself. If you don't learn but one thing out of football, it'll be worthwhile. There's certain sacrifices that you will have to make. There are going to be many sacrifices you have to make in later life. To fight. Oh, I don't mean fist fight. I mean to get up and come back and get up and come back and get up and come back again after you've been knocked down. And that could happen to you in later life. But if it does, you're going to know how to handle it. There's no one that ever has or ever will accomplish anything alone. I've read about self-made men. That's Tommy rot, as far as I'm concerned. I don't even know how to define intangibles. And I know that if you learn these lessons, you'll have it. And if you have it, you'll win, and you'll be better prepared in those three areas of life that we've been talking about. That there are going to be times for everyone that you're going to get discouraged. But if you never lose sight of your objective and never give up on yourself, if we do that as a team, 11 at the time, 4 years from now, why, we'll be walking out of here the national champion.